Hi, my name is Jana Bozeman. I am a Denver, Colorado-based yoga instructor. Today, I'm going to be taking you through a quick little 20-minute vinyasa flow. So something to do when you don't have a lot of time. You want to stretch out the body in a lot of ways, build a little heat. I am assuming that you do have a little yoga experience if you were doing this video. I'm not going to spend a lot of time breaking down the poses in this. So without further ado, let's get started. So you're going to step to the top of your mat. I'll give you the side view and then the front view of this. So feet hip distance apart, deep bend in the knees, take a nice forward fold, and then just start to rock forward and back. You're clasping elbows here, and you're really trying to let the back of the neck release. And this is Uttanasana, deep forward fold, an incredibly intense stretch, especially first thing of the day. So you're gonna be feeling it in the shoulders. I'm getting an intense stretch, of course, in my hamstrings. You might be feeling this in your lower back. Deep bend in the knees is a good thing. If you are more flexible and your legs are coming to straight, you're gonna firm the muscles above the knee a little bit. Think a little micro bend there. And then go ahead and start to nod your head, yes. And no. And then change the cross of your elbows. The opposite arm comes in front. Imagine that there's a weight just pulling you to the earth. It's attached to the center of your head. Let the shoulder blades release. Maybe begin to straighten your legs a little bit. And then start to find the rhythm of your ujjayi breath. So that inhale through your nose, you create that soft rush of air. And then that exhale through your nose. Use this breath to focus the mind, quiet the mind. It gives you a little something to bring your attention to, but it also starts to build some heat in our body, which is wonderful as we start to move. So you're going to release your fingertips down to the mat. Couple options here. We're going to come into our half forward fold. So fingertips on the floor if you're a little more flexible. Most of us might have hands on shins or thighs. As you inhale, elbow squeeze in, shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other. Gaze is slightly forward. You're making an L shape with your body. This is like a standing cobra pose. As you exhale, you fold. A few times like that. Inhale, lengthen. Make sure you're pressing into the four corners of your feet so your arches lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Couple more. Inhale. We're already starting to find vinyasa. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. This time, press down into your feet. Stretch arms out nice and wide. So reverse swan dive as you come up to standing. Couple of breaths here. You might lift your toes up off the mat and then gently place them, spread them, place them back down. Make sure that the shoulders aren't creeping up around your ears. Gaze soft and gentle in front of you. Maybe you start to bring your gaze up. Press palms together. And then as you exhale, release your arms by your side. So you're getting a little external rotation here. You're directing your tailbone down, stretching your sternum up. Here we go. We start to flow. Inhale, arms reach out and up. As you exhale, you dive in. Maybe you're starting to straighten the legs. You might not yet. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press down into your feet, stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. So this is our Ardha Surya Namaskara, our half sun salute. It's hard not to be happy when doing these, so you might find yourself just smiling a little bit. As you inhale, you lengthen. Exhaling, you're folding in. Inhale, press down to rise up. Feel that lift of your arches. You're pressing into the four corners of your feet. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. We have one more. Inhaling, reaching Utthita Hastasana, into Tadasana. As you exhale, come into your full forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling, making your way into your half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, back into that full forward fold. Root down into your feet. Use a little core to help you pull up into your extended mountain pose. How tall can you get? As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Adding on. Inhale, reach. As you exhale, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Keep that gaze forward, bend your knees a lot. Plant your palms, fingers are spreading, right foot back, then left. A few breaths here in your plank pose. So you want your shoulders over your wrist, your gaze is slightly forward, so you're keeping your neck nice and long. The work naturally comes into the arms. You're gonna feel that inner arm wrap towards your outer arm. We get that feeling in our downward dog. You're also feeling this through the sides of the waist, the lower belly. Get your legs involved a little more, and you're breathing, you're smiling, the face is soft and relaxed. Good. As we exhale, we shift forward on our toes. Lower slowly down, your elbows squeeze in. So you just lower in one line. Few breaths into our low cobra. So you're lengthening back through all 10 toes. Inhale, chest lengthens forward and up. So fingers are spreading. They're placed underneath your shoulder heads. Exhale, lower. Inhaling up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. So we're just generating the movement here from our lower back. We're creating a lot of strength here. And we tend to neglect this part of our body. So especially when we think of a strong core, you're just moving with your breath here, warming up the spine. So when we think of a strong core, we overemphasize the front of the body. So we do a lot of crunches, a lot of ab work. So this piece is just as important. So the next time you come on up, hold there, keep breathing. Roll a little bit to the baby side of the foot. So you don't want to overdo that. You don't want your ankles turning out. You do want them pointing up towards the ceiling. But as you roll a little bit to the outer edges of the feet, you turn on those inner thighs. Deep inhale here. Exhale, press to your tabletop. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. So first dog, take a moment, fidget around, pedal back and forth between your feet. Little bend in the knees feels great. Being on the tippy toes feels great. Sometimes here I like to flip onto the top of one foot. It's a really intense, delicious stretch in that foot, and then do that to the other side. If you've lost your breath, you come back to that rhythm. Good. And then find a little bend in your knees. Come to your tippy toes, peek where you're going. At the end of your exhale, step your right foot forward, then your left foot forward to meet it. You might be walking forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press down into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart, putting that together. Inhaling, reaching. As you exhale, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Bend knees, plant palms, left foot back, then right foot, shift forward on your toes. This is the same exhale. You lower, pause at halfway, you might be on your knees, then onto your belly. Inhale here, low cobra. So if you practice upward facing dog, or if you want to try this, hands drag back, wrists underneath elbows, elbow squeeze into the midline. Inhale, press into the tops of your feet. Press into your hands, arms come to straight. So your shins, your knees, your thighs are lifting up off the mat. If they're not, come back down to the low cobra. From here, you can roll over your toes. Low cobra. You press to tabletop and then pull back, downward dog. Inhale, little bend in your knees, come to your tippy toes, peek where you're going. End of your exhale, left foot forward, then right foot forward to meet it. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press down into your feet, stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Couple more. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, fold in. Inhale, chest lengthens forward. So exhale, bend knees, plant palms, step right, then left and lower. If you practice your chaturanga, palms plant, gaze forward. You shoot your feet back, you land with elbows bent. Inhale, you could roll over your toes this time into your upward dog, or you come down into your low cobra. Exhale, downward dog. We're only going to take one deep inhale here. End of your exhale, tippy toes, bend in the knees, look where you're going. This time maybe spring forward or step right then left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press down into your feet, stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhale, reach up, take up lots of space, and you're probably feeling more of that in your body. As we keep moving here, inhale, lengthen. Gaze stays forward, exhale, step left and right, lower chaturanga, or you jump with bent elbows. You can lower here, either coming into your low cobra or your upward dog. You have options. Exhale, downward dog. Deep inhale through the nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Inhale, right leg lifts. So I want you to keep your hips nice and even. Those right toes are pointing down towards the mat. Exhale, shift forward, curl, knee into nose. Inhale, pull back, three-legged dog. Exhale, shift forward. Climb that right knee as high onto your right elbow as you can. Maybe lower the hips a little bit. Inhale, stretch back. For the cross this time, inhale, forward. Right knee as high to that left arm as it'll go. Inhale, stretch back. And then exhale, step that right foot through. Spin into the back edge of your left foot. So we're setting up for our warrior one. I'm going to give you a little angle of this pose here. Deep bend in the right knee. Inhale, rise up. So I'm trying to drag this left hip forward. I can square that waist to the front of the room. Good. And then again, let the shoulder blades release down a little bit. Feel your tailbone direct down, sternum reaches up. Gaze up, press palms. As you exhale, you're gonna come to the mat. So palms frame that front foot, spin onto your left toes. Root down into your left foot. Come into your twist. So shoulder blades are stacking on top of each other here. You could have that bottom hand on a block. You're wrapping your left ribs up towards the ceiling, maybe gazing at that top arm. Good, one more deep inhale. As you exhale, couple of options here. So let me come this direction. So you can either step back to plank, take a chaturanga vinyasa. If you want to move to Vashisthasana here, roll to the inner edge of that left foot, root into that left palm, step that right foot back, maybe spin that top arm up and over. Good. As you exhale, you unwind. You're taking a chaturanga vinyasa here if you would like, or you're pulling back to your downward facing dog. All right, so as you inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, shift forward. Knee to nose, get into a tight little ball. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, shift shoulders over wrist. Climb that left knee as high on that left arm as you can. Inhale, back three-legged dog, hips even. The twist this time, exhale, shift forward. Climb that knee as high as you can. On the right arm, inhale, stretch back. As you exhale, all of those same feelings help step that foot through. We come into our warrior one, so spin into the back edge of the right foot. Already before we come up, you're trying to drag that right hip forward. Deep bend in the left knee. Rise on up here. Imagine somebody's gently pulling up on your wrist. You're directing your tailbone down, stretching your sternum up. Maybe bring your gaze up, press palms. And then as you exhale, lower down. So palms frame that front foot, spin onto your right toes. And you can see how this looks from the back here on this side. Root down into that right palm, shoulders over wrist. Press to the inner edge of the left foot. Start to spin open. So you're stacking your shoulder blades on top of each other. You could always take the right knee down in this pose if you need a little modification. You might be looking up at that top thigh or thumb. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. Good. So transition, you can step to plank, hold that for a breath or two, and then move through your chaturanga vinyasa, making your way back to downward dog. If you would like to do that Vashi transition, switch to the inner edge of that right foot and then lightly step that left foot on top. So trying to keep both sides nice and long. Extend that top arm over, maybe gazing up. Your body will be shaking a little bit. You might fall out. These are all good things. Unwind here. Take that chaturanga vinyasa into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. And then let's inhale, find a little bend in our knees, come to our tippy toes. At the end of your exhale, you step left and right or spring forward. Inhale, chest extends. Exhale, fold in. This time as you inhale, knees bend, arms reach up, Utkatasana, chair pose. So weight is in the heels, toes are nice and light. Feel your lower belly Pull in a little bit, so sometimes we can overarch in the lumbar. And then as you exhale, hands come to heart center. Good. Take an inhale, lengthen through the sides of your waist. As you exhale, we're gonna start to find our twist. So hook that left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Elbows stack on top of each other. You're pressing your palms towards heart center. So that's a great place to be. We're rolling those left ribs up. If you wanna go a little deeper, split your arms here. Left fingertips to the outside of your right foot. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. And because we can, we're gonna take this little transition. So hands can be at your heart or they can be split. We're gonna take this into our twisted crescent pose. So look down, keep the weight in that right foot. Start to lift that left leg back. Good, and then you might have to adjust a little bit. So another deep twist. Gaze can be down, forward, or up. Keep pressing to the inner edge of that right foot. Good, deep inhale. Exhale, unwind. Chaturanga Vinyasa here. So if you would like, maybe you keep that right leg lifted, lower Chaturanga, place those toes down before you come into the back bend of your choice. Shoulder heads pressed back wherever you're at. Downward facing dog. As you inhale, a little bend in your knees, come to your tippy toes. End of your exhale, step right or spring through. Inhale, chest lengthens. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, knees bend, arms reach up. Utkatasana, chair pose. So feet might be together. Most of us are gonna have our feet about hips distance apart. Pull the lower belly in, lengthen through the sides of your waist. Exhale, hands to heart center. So already they're pressing together, you're engaging the arms. As you exhale, twist to the left, hooking right elbow to the outside of that left thigh. You just get a little leverage here to twist that chest open. If you wanted to split your arms here, feel free to do so. So shoulder blades stack on top of each other. Notice if that right hip is creeping forward a lot. Draw it back. And then either palms together at your heart, or you can keep the arms split like this. Bring your gaze down. Start to shift the weight into that left foot. Bend that right knee and then straighten it out. Step it way back. I got props in the way here. So twisted crescent pose. Twists are so healthy for the spine. They're really great for the organs of digestion, the organs of elimination. When we're deep inhale. Exhale, release. And then again, take a Chaturanga Vinyasa, step to downward dog. If you want to keep that back leg lifted as you lower, make sure to put the toes down before you move into your up dog or low cobra. Good. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, ha. All right, so from here, little bend in your knees, come to your tippy toes, and then we're gonna hop through to seated and then come onto your back. We're gonna do just a little bit of back bending before we wind down here. So arms by your side, ankles underneath your knees, edges of the feet parallel with the edges of the mat. Think Tadasana feet. As you inhale, start to lift hips up off the mat, exhale, lower. And then you're just continuing to move like that. Notice if your toes start to turn out, maybe you start to roll more to the outer edges of the feet. Again, just make sure that you're pressing to the mound of the big toe, mound of the little toe, inner heel and outer heel. And then you're also just imagining that your shoulders are feet. Essentially, they are in this pose. So the backs of the shoulders really start to press down into the mat. Inhale, come on up here. And important to note that you don't want to look side to side in this bridge pose. So you're just keeping the back of your neck nice and long, gaze is up at the ceiling. From here, interlace your fingers underneath you, rock your shoulders underneath you a little bit. If the shoulders are tight, you grab the outer edges of the mat, start to walk your hands towards your heels. Couple of breaths. Great pose for feeling that expansiveness of the breath. Good. And then walk your feet a little bit closer. Keep rooting down into that left foot. Keep the hips even. Start to extend your right foot up towards the ceiling. Make any little adjustments that you need to. One more deep inhale. Release that foot down. Inhale, classic bridge. Full exhale. And then down into that right foot. Left foot starts to extend. Ekapada Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. One-legged bridge pose. Shoulders get heavy. Hips are lifting equally. Deep inhale. Exhale, release. One final press into your feet here. See if you can lift those hips a little higher. And then as you exhale, you slowly lower down, nice and easy. So we want to counter that back bend, hug the knees into your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. And then place your feet on the mat. We are going to cross our right ankle above our left knee, flex the foot. You can take your right hand into that thigh, gently press forward. So a little hip stretch. If you want to go deeper, you hug your left knee in towards your chest. You can interlace fingers over shin or left thigh, depending upon where you're at. You can wedge that right elbow in towards that thigh. That'll intensify the stretch. For those of us with a little more flexibility, you can turn this into a reclining pigeon pose, single pigeon. So you fork lift that right lower leg and then maybe extend your left leg to straight. Keep it really active. Feel that inner left thigh spiral down. And then you're using your hands to help pull that shin in towards your chest. If you go here and it doesn't feel good, go back to where you were at. Good. So if you're in that reclining pigeon, back your way out. And then we take the second side. Left ankle crosses over right. You could stay here, gently pressing that left hip forward. Maybe you go a little deeper. So options, you want to have both shoulders pressing into the mat behind you. So we don't want them lifting up. If that's happening, back out a little bit, maybe slide a blanket underneath your shoulders. And then here, if you want to take that supine pigeon pose. And again, do keep this left foot flexed. That engages the muscles around this knee, helps protect that joint, which we want. You have let your breath start to slow down and stretch out here. We're letting go of that Ujjayi breath. And instead just finding that nice inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. It doesn't have that heated quality. It doesn't have that effort. And then we start to come out of this pose here. So release and then take your feet wide, arms wide, just windshield wiper feet back and forth. Good, so it's always nice to take a Shavasana here if you have time to do it. So legs extend wide, arms by your side, just be here, even if it's just like 5 or 6 breaths. Of course, if you need to dash off into your day, have a good day. And thank you for practicing yoga with me today.